Hi guys, today we'll be looking at why it's important to do and apply things. So why is doing so important? Contrary to popular belief, manifesting something doesn't mean to just snap your fingers and do it, although that is possible. Most of our experiences are related to exploring the process of how something is done and created. And that means that we always have work to do in order to manifest something. All our ideas, all our challenges, all our wishes, we have to do something to make them true. There's no higher power that's going to help us. There's only guidance guidance on how we can do things while we're actually doing them. And the important part is that we decide what to do, we decide how to do them, and the only thing is that we're guided on the steps how to do them, right? So between how to do them and the steps how to do them, I mean that we choose how to express the idea, how to create it, what's the path that we prefer to take on creating them, but we receive guidance on how to follow that path, because our individual logic is limited only to our experiences. And if we want to create something new and we want to experience something new, then there's no way for us to manifest it if we're basing our actions on our limited knowledge and thinking. We always have to think outside the box, accept all the ideas that we deem and we don't deem realistic, and see how we can apply them, or especially the unrealistic ones. So the unrealistic ones are actually the best way to understand how you can do a new idea, because if we manage to apply the unrealistic ideas, we actually are able to see an unrealistic idea become realistic. And since we've initially accepted it as an unrealistic idea, we actually, once we accept an unrealistic idea that we've thought is unrealistic before, we actually open up ourselves to a huge potential of ideas, of possibilities that we can establish, we can work with, and we can now see. That's why it's important to always look for the possible and the impossible. Let's put it like that. And that being said, the more we do, the more things we explore, that much more possibilities we open up. The idea is to find what we like to do, or what idea we would like to explore, so that we can revolve around that idea and find ways to apply it, to use it, to do it, to express it. All of those things will help us to have more interactions in that direction, and the more we express it, the more we share it, that much more conditions we set for ourselves to actually do what we like to do, right? Because we will choose to explore an idea that we like to explore, and that idea can be anything, it can be everything. We're the ones that choose. The only persons that can make a choice for what we should do, how we should do it, is us. We're the ones that make the choice. Then once we make the choice, we let everybody in on it. We let all the possibilities go and come into action, and we attempt to use all of them. This is where the adaptation comes in, right? Where we have to find a way to use everything around us. And the idea is to make more than just one thing. While we are exploring one idea, it is applicable in every region of life, and it's up to us to find a way to do it. and to help others see how it can be applied. And because the idea is to select an idea, start exploring it, and help others explore it as well, or explore their ideas in a way that's better, that might help them, right? For example, this is why I'm making articles, this is why I'm making these videos, to explain my understanding in some orderly fashion in which I think that it might be helpful to you. But again, I'm unable to know that until you share your feedback. So again, another important part of doing is asking for your feedback, looking for your feedback, finding ways to interact with your ideas with other people, sharing them, finding ways to establish them. If somebody thinks that it's impossible, then we have to look into why that perspective thinks or sees that it's impossible, and make it possible. That way we might actually help the person realize that that thing is possible. And while realizing something that for him is impossible, we might actually help him by providing that idea to him. He might use it for something of his own, which might actually help him rise up above his situation and soar, practically. The importance of doing is because, due to our limited individual perspectives, there's no way for us to establish what something is without actually trying it out, right? Checking if it's like that. And our communication, based on the reality that we're in, right? We can see everything, we can touch everything. Our reality is based on interaction. So the more interactions we have, the more information we acquire on what our reality actually is like. So the more we do, the more ideas we apply, that much more opportunities we have to learn about our reality, to see what it actually is. And in my case, which was kind of a surprise, life is better than you'd expect. If you set up your mindset on a positive and positive thinking towards developing yourself and the environment, regardless of the conditions, regardless of what something may look, as long as you're working in the direction of changing yourself for the better, then everything has its practical and positive application. And that actually broke my logic, because I thought that the world was horrible. And I still do in some aspects, but it's the regions that I haven't explored. It's the things that I'm scared of, and scared means that I haven't actually done them all yet. There's no, once you've done something, you start understanding what it represents, and you don't fear it. You actually look for ways that you can apply it, how you can use it. And that's the idea, right? To become more adaptive, to expand our horizon, our comfort zone, to be more, to live easily in the world that we are. If we neglect doing and applying things, well, then we become depressed because we have no expression. We can talk, but talking isn't really the experience. The experience is going to give us any information on how to live our lives. It gives ideas, but we have to apply those ideas in order to live by them, right? We have to live by them, which means that all our actions have to follow those ideas. So, can you see where it's important to do things and apply all the ideas that we have? If we don't explore them, we practically limit ourselves to our individual potential. While applying them, just the feedback, the interaction will teach us things that we wouldn't have even expected are possible. And can you imagine it? We usually think that our world is one-sided, but if you do something and you learn new things, then who's the one-sided man? Who's the one-sided? It turns out that it's us, because we're too lazy to do things. then follow something that you would like to explore. Follow those ideas, share them, do them, apply them, find ways to express what you would like to explore, express your ideas. The more you do that, the more well, practically the happier you will be. And while doing that, find ways to share them and share your happiness with other people, because, and that's, everybody knows that a person is most happy when he sees that somebody else is happy. So our focus should be on making others happy instead of ourselves. And this is the idea, right, of following our deepest passion. If we follow our deepest passion, we explore new regions that we wouldn't have imagined of the idea revolving around our passion, and that makes us happy because we're finding new things directly at our passion, at our desired states, at our desired reality. And the more we share that with people, the more interactions we have, and the more they start looking at us and towards us regarding that idea. And if we share our happiness with them, they either have the choice to synchronize with us and be happy, or reject us, in which case, okay, right? If we've decided to share, and there's always 50% chance that will always be 50% accepted, 50% rejected. So the more we do and the more we explore, it's always 50-50. But which version would you prefer? The one that you're sharing your happiness and you're practically happy with other people, or the one that you're curling up in a corner where you think that everybody is against you and become depressed? I mean, those are the two options, those are the two polarities. You either do and you're happy, or you don't and you're miserable. Think about how many people are blaming others because they don't explore their ideas. Everybody, just because somebody has attached a meaning that something is impossible due to something, he's just blaming somebody else or something else on that on that condition being created. It's not, nobody stops to realize that it's our thinking that sets the conditions. You can always set the conditions, just change your thinking and start adapting. That's also an important part. I hope it gets this becomes understandable again. I hope this makes it understandable why it's important to do. So please share your experiences, share your feedback, and was this helpful? Was it not? Is something understandable? Do I have a bad accent? Anything, really. Are these videos clear enough and helpful enough for you to change your life? That's it. And the only way to see if it is or to check something is to apply it. Our understanding of an idea comes after our application, because our application gives us this essential information of what that thing represents here and now, in this moment, in the single moment that we're doing it. And respectively as a process, if we are continuously doing it, in the linear reality that we're experiencing. And that's a very important thing. I would advise that you reverse a little, bring the video back a little so that you can hear it a few more times, because it's important to realize it. Our application is the only thing that brings clarity on the reality that we're on. Okay, this is it for now. We'll continue on with the next video, and again, share. Thank you and goodbye.